Great.
Where are we now?
So late this morning, campus was closed indefinitely, most likely just for today, after Thurston County officials received a call threatening violence against campus. That information was quickly relayed to Evergreen State College Police Services and the president of Evergreen, George Bridges, who immediately made the decision as a precaution to close the campus. And information was sent out to student, staff, and faculty via text and email and via a loudspeaker system on campus. Support was provided by other local law enforcement agencies, Pierce County Sheriff's Department, Olympia Police Department. While student, staff, and faculty were exiting campus, there was police presence throughout campus, and it was a safe and orderly and calm process. And so that's where we're at right now.
What was the nature of the threat?
The threat, it was a 911 call, evidently, that came into Thurston County law enforcement. And beyond that, I don't have specific details, but it was evaluated to be serious enough that law enforcement thought it was prudent to recommend that we close the campus temporarily.
So is it specific?
No.
So what, probably that an attack could happen on campus?
Yeah, I would refer you to law enforcement for details on that, but basically it was of a nature, according to the communication, that it was prudent to take the action we did.
Does the college know who called the threat in?
No.
Any reason to think it's connected to what we saw last week with the protests back-to-back days?
There's nothing that I know of that connects these things directly, but of course, we live in troubled times, and you got to take public safety as a top priority for everybody.
Do you have an evacuation or a lockdown process that? Do you have a lockdown procedure that you have practiced on campus?
We do indeed, and that has been followed this morning. We are very fortunate to have a very fine law enforcement presence on campus, police services at Evergreen, and they are in very close contact with local partners, Thurston County, etc.
Well, the reason I ask is because it seemed like there was a lot of confusion. People who had children at daycare were told to come pick up their children, and then they couldn't get on campus to pick up their children. Why was that?
I don't know the answer to that, Jim.
Has that been resolved? Have they been able to get on campus to get their kids?
Yeah, there's various moving parts right now. There are some resident students on campus who are in their dorms. They're with they're with college staff, and law enforcement is there as well. And we're just waiting to see how the situation is going to be solved.
Who is heading this investigation?
Which investigation?
Or the Grant General agency is
Well, we have, like I said, we have Evergreen Police Services, who are fully accredited, highly trained professional law enforcement officers, and they are working in cooperation with their partners here in Thurston County.
Can you give us an idea of how many people, students, faculty, total has to be evacuated?
Well, we're a campus of about 4,800 in total. So we're about 4,000 students and 800 faculty and staff.
Today,
Yeah, this would have been a typical day. We're kind of nearing the end of the quarter. It's a very busy time on campus. It's a time of students giving presentations and getting papers done. Well, everybody's got a different program, so they're on different schedules, but it certainly is a time when people are very much focused on teaching and learning and putting together those presentations and those projects that are part of the end of the quarter.
You're talking about that focus, but for the last week we had protests, we had the administration building was, I guess, unusual for some folks coming in and out. The college has been on national news.
Yep.
This professor, this faculty member, now this. Frustrating that we're having to deal with all this. We can't just work on that.
Yeah, we do really want to focus on that core responsibility, and that is such an important service that we provide. And I think for all of the faculty and staff, that is the most important thing, is how we serve our students, who really do reflect Washington State. That's important to us. We have had disruption. Until today, campus has been open, classes have continued, and we really hope to get back to that as soon as possible.
caution into this decision. Did the past week, what we've seen on campus, factor into this decision to shut down campus?
Well, there's a lot of talk out there across the country really on these topics, and there's a lot of sensitivity, And I think that it was a very prudent thing to do, to take a look at this threat and make sure that people were safe, because that's always going to be the top priority.
So just to be clear, there's nobody on campus putting forward a direct threat immediately?
Not
It's just a
to
phone
my
call?
knowledge, no. I don't know that yet. We're going to work with our law enforcement partners to understand the nature of the threat, to hear their counsel, and the president will make a decision.
Do you know if the nature of the threat was from somebody on campus or from outside of campus?
Don't know that, Jim. Don't know.
Do you know if they expressed?
I'm sorry. I do know that it was a 911 call that came in via 911. So
Do you know if the person making the threat expressed any kind of political position?
I don't know. I don't know.
Did they threaten any building or any individual?
I don't know that.
How tense has it been on campus this past week?
I think for most people, people have been aware there's been disruption, but like I said, classes are continuing. People are kind of engaged in their business. The students that I know are, pretty much focused on getting it done. And there are groups that are very much involved in these conversations, but I think for the majority of the staff, faculty, and students, it's a normal quarter.
Do we have any idea, I mean, if 911 calls can be traced?
Yeah.
Do we know, this could be a Fox News viewer in Alabama for
I would refer you to law enforcement for
Okay.
that. But they thought it was credible enough that they referred it to us, and we made a quick decision.
Okay.
Any idea when this has happened before? I mean, does people call them threats
Yeah,
to high
I know.
schools? And
I know. No, I don't know the history on it.
You don't know if the campus has ever been closed down like this before?
I do not know, but I've only been there since January, so yeah, I'd have to check on that for you.
Sandra, could you give us an idea how many agencies are involved on campus right now?
We have amazing support from local law enforcement, and I know for a fact, I just saw Olympia Police Department there, Thurston County Sheriffs are there, and of course our very capable Evergreen Police Services.
Of your students, about how many of them live on campus?
I think 800. 800.
Okay,
Yeah.
so are they off campus now?
They're currently in the dorms.
They're in the dorms.
With staff. Evergreen staff are with them. Law enforcement is also present, and we're just kind of waiting to hear when we can give the all clear. So when we get that,
Is law enforcement sweeping the campus or any of the buildings on the campus?
They are very much present on the campus. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but they're very much visible and present.
And so is it fair to say the dorms are on lockdown?
No, I wouldn't say that.
How-
No one's going to be restraining anybody, but
Okay.
right now the safest thing to do is to stay put till there's a decision from our law enforcement folks about whether it's safe to move around.
And are you letting people on campus to pick up students or kids at daycare if they have?
I don't know the answer to that, Jim. I need to check. Actually, yes, I do know that. I do know that. I just learned it, actually. And yes, people can go in with law enforcement to collect their kids.
Could we have you each say and spell your first and last name and
Sure.
your title?
Sandra Kaiser, Kaiser. I'm the Vice President for College Relations at the Evergreen State College.
Zach Powers, Z-A-C-H, P-O-W-E-R-S. I'm the Communications and Public Relations Manager at Evergreen.
Are you going to have an update for us later today?
Yeah, I will. I think what I'll do, I don't know if I'll be able to pull you together, but we'll certainly send something out as soon as we have more than what I just gave you. I just want to emphasize, public safety, number one. I mean, that's why the decision was taken, and we really are hoping to get back to the business of teaching and learning, the core responsibility of the college, as soon as possible.
And it's your intention to have classes as usual tomorrow at this point?
That's our hope.
Sandra, could you speak on the nature of the threat? I mean, there's been rumors that it came from a white supremacist group.
I do not know that. I don't have the information on that. Okay? So if anyone is interested in doing anything outside, very welcome. Otherwise, thanks for your interest, and we will stay in touch.